The IBF recently rescinded their order for Alexander Usyk to face mandatory challenger Filip Hrgovic. And in the wake of that, they have instead ordered Filip Hrgovic to face Andy Ruiz for the interim heavyweight title. Now, I've seen certain websites claim that Ruiz has already turned down this possible fight because he's more focused on facing Deontay Wilder. But personally, I wouldn't count out the possibility of this contest taking place because Deontay Wilder, or at least his trainer Malik Scott, has been saying that they aren't necessarily going to fight Ruiz next and that there is a mystery opponent in the running. And I did a video about this a couple of weeks ago maybe, where I was contemplating why Deontay Wilder and his team are not seemingly very keen on fighting Andy Ruiz next. What's that all about? You got two PBC fighters. It's not like it's going to be a cross-promotional or cross-network affair. It's an in-house fight. So why would Wilder be looking for any other opponent than Andy Ruiz at this stage? Anthony Joshua's going in a different direction. He's already lost to Tyson Fury a couple of times. Alexander Usyk, we're not sure what he's doing next. He may be fighting Tyson Fury, or if that fight can't get made, he's going to fight one of his mandatories. So unless Usyk decides to do a left turn and end up as this mystery opponent for Deontay Wilder, then you have to figure Wilder doesn't have any better opportunity on the table at the moment in terms of a quality opponent and a high-profile fight. So why wouldn't they go ahead with an Andy Ruiz bout? You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, if Deontay Wilder doesn't fight Ruiz or Ruiz goes ahead and fights Filip Hrgovic, how do you guys see that fight going? I think it's a fascinating contest. I think the hand speed of Andy Ruiz, the experience, the toughness, the pressure, going up against the size, the height, the reach, the amateur pedigree of Filip Hrgovic would make for a very, very compelling spectacle. I know a lot of people weren't impressed by Filip Hrgovic's last performance against Zhilei Zhang, but quite a lot of people also weren't too impressed by Andy Ruiz's performance against Luis Ortiz. Of course, both guys in their last fight fought a southpaw. This would be orthodox versus orthodox. So, yeah, you got two guys who maybe have to reassert themselves in the heavyweight division in the eyes of many boxing fans, reestablish themselves as legitimate contenders. I think that Hrgovic has come under more criticism than Andy Ruiz because Ruiz did get the win. It ended up being relatively close on the cards in the end. It was a pretty dull fight aside from the couple of rounds, I want to say, when there were knockdowns. There were certainly knockdowns in the second round, and then I think later on in the fight, Ruiz also dropped Ortiz, I think maybe in the 9th or 10th, something like that. You guys can jog my memory. So, yeah, just some quick thoughts on the situation regarding the IBF ordering an interim heavyweight title fight between Andy Ruiz and Filip Hrgovic. Presumably, there are people within PBC and certainly the management of Andy Ruiz who want to push ahead and have that Deontay Wilder fight. But there must be at least one faction, certainly Wilder's management, who are looking at trying to go in a different direction. I hope that doesn't happen because I really want to see Andy Ruiz square off against Deontay Wilder, the two former world heavyweight champions. It's interesting because you got one guy who used to be the WBC champion going up against a guy who used to be the WBA, IBF, and WBO champion. So it's almost like the ghost of Undisputed. That's what it would be, right? The ghost of Undisputed. There was a time when you could have actually had, or if it weren't for a rematch clause in a contract, you could have actually had an undisputed title fight between Wilder and Ruiz. That was after Ruiz beat AJ the first time. If there was no rematch clause there, you would have had Wilder Ruiz undisputed. So it's the battle of the former champions. Let's hope it goes ahead for several reasons. I like the style matchup, but also because the experience as boxing fans that we had watching Deontay Wilder as champion was a frustrating one because he refused to fight several people. Therefore, the likes of me, and I'm sure many of you, want to see Deontay Wilder earn his next shot at the heavyweight title. So we can't start leapfrogging people and cherry picking and only taking the risks that he wants to take. No, I think he should be forced into taking some legitimate fights against dangerous heavyweights to prove that he's worthy of fighting for a championship again. Because there are many guys out there who are willing to do what it takes. I mean, you look at Joe Joyce recently fought Joe Parker. There are guys out there willing to take risks to get their shots. So I hope that we see Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. Let me know what you guys think.